What's good? It's Woog. Please like the video, subscribe to the channel if you were into the fight talk. We are finally capping off our 2020 best of lists and awards. Basically, we have covered top 10 pound for pound. We've covered trainer of the year, upset of the year, knockout of the year, fight of the year, performance of the year, and now we move on to fighter of the year. This one to me was the easiest to call. It's Canelo Alvarez. Like, there's Alexander Usyk, there's Josh Taylor, Terrence Crawford, Tyson Fury. There are a lot of guys, but to me, it's no question. Like, he came, he saw, he conquered. And yes, people want to see him fight David Benavidez. I said it then and I'll say it again. It's not Canelo Alvarez's fault that David Benavidez was without a title when Canelo Alvarez declared, I want to take all the belts at 168. It's like, what, you think that if David Benavidez wasn't still the WBC champ? Because, you know, the WBC champ, Canelo won from Callum Smith at the end of 2020, which was a sensational performance. And I'm not even including it in this reason to give Canelo fighter of the year. I'm just talking about his Avni Yildirim, Billy Joe Saunders, and Caleb Plant performances, taking those last two belts in those last two fights. But he earned two in that one fight against Callum Smith, the then undefeated WBA champion, because David Benavidez lost his title on the scale. He was also WBC champ before that. David Benavidez is a two-time champion. Lost the title twice for non-fight related reasons. Recreational drugs the first time, missed weight the second time. So you don't think that if he was WBC champ, that Canelo, when he's saying, I want to take all the belts, he wouldn't have, fought David Benavidez as well? I have no evidence to support that he wouldn't. And to me, it's unfair to suggest that he wouldn't. And look, I would love to see him fight Jermall Charlo as well. But like, Jermall Charlo needs to at least unify two of the belts. You've had fighters on islands, just like they had at 168 before Canelo got there, when it was David Benavidez, it was Uzcategui, then Caleb Plant, it was Callum Smith, and then it was Gilberto Zurdo Ramirez, and they were all on their islands, no champion fighting each other. So it's like, now we've got 160 where, yes, Triple G fought a creative way to unify two. He's going to go to Ryota Murata, who was elevated as full WBA champ when Canelo was finally stripped, when he left the middleweight division. But you don't see the middleweights beyond this Triple G Murata fight, which Triple G should have been fighting Andrade. Charlo should have been fighting Andrade. I feel bad for Andrade. He seems to be the one who actually wants to smoke with all these guys. And Jermall Charlo's career has gotten to such a frustrating point. But I'm saying all that to say, yes, I would love to see Canelo fight Jermall and Andrade. If I was David Benavidez at 168, I would go up to 175, win a belt now. Find a way to win a belt, because that's undoubtedly where Canelo's going to eventually set his sights next. So if you want to be in line for the Canelo sweepstakes, right now David Benavidez is without a title at 168. So what, you want to stay at 168 where Canelo just conquered the division and hope that he comes back and defends his titles instead of exploring the new frontier, 175? I would get ahead of it. Go to 175, win a belt there. You're going to be sitting pretty for the Canelo sweepstakes if you win a belt. So, yeah, Canelo just unified the division. He said he was going to do it. He did it. He did it in emphatic fashion. All three of his fights versus Yildirim, Billy Joe Saunders, and Caleb Plant this year resulted in knockouts or TKOs. Like, Canelo Alvarez is just doing the damn near unthinkable. I'm not saying that it's totally unprecedented, but if you were to ask me a few years ago, is this 154 or even 160 Canelo Alvarez going to just wreck shop at 168, stop all the guys? And you could argue that the most impressive performance out of all of them was in the fight that he didn't stop the opponent, that Callum Smith fight. I didn't think he was just going to dominate Callum Smith in that fashion. But yeah, if you were going to ask me, if he was going to unify and become undisputed at 168, hell no. But he did that, and he did it in emphatic fashion. Canelo Alvarez is my fighter of 2021. But yeah, let me know what you think in the comments. Please like the video, subscribe to the channel if you are into the fight talk. Happy New Year. Thanks again for all the, comments, all the interesting ideas that you guys have presented, all the back and forth that we've had. talking about certain fights or fighters. I've really enjoyed your guys' company, and I think that it's the interest that you guys take in, you know, this channel, other channels. Let me know what your favorite channels are. I mean, I was gonna do a video about what some of my favorite channels are. I'm gonna do that in the future. But yeah, it's conversations like these that, you know, just keep the boxing world and community thriving. So hopefully we get the fights that we want in 2022. I thought that 2021 was a very strong year for the sport. But yeah, thanks again for tuning in.